Let's see here. Okay. I think I'm live on here. See what this Wi-Fi doing. Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Gaskins here. Listen here. What was yesterday? Did I do a video yesterday? I can't recall if I did a video yesterday or not. What was yesterday? See if I did a video yesterday. No, I think I missed. Think I missed yesterday, maybe. And then the night is a work night on Thursday night, but made it up here to the office with my family because we still are. Let me get this here. We out of power at 1 second here. Make sure I get. We are out of power at the house. So me and the fam up here at the corporate office. Now, ironically, the office is not far. It's not too far from the house, but the house is no power. The whole neighborhood, the whole area, no power. We got on our power company on this website, it says that they got about 600,000 houses, about 600,000 people out of power in our area. And so we've been out of power for about 20, 27, 28 hours, which is crazy because we just never go out of power. So we're not in a place where hardly anybody got a generator. It's only a few people got a generator because we never lose power like that. And if we do lose power, it come right back on. Even in hurricanes, like the longest we've been without power in a hurricane, and we've been in this same place for probably going on 10 years, I think. And the longest we've been out of power in a hurricane is an hour and a half. And so now going on, it's over 24 hours been out of power. But ironically, around the corner at the office, all the power on. And a few doors down from me is like a little bar, a little lounge. They power on and everybody power on. So the family didn't want to go home. And my wife don't really want to get a hotel because she's saying, hey, they're going to cut the power on. So no sense in us going to a hotel. And my family are what I call bed bougie, to where they don't sleep good in hotel beds. Me, I sleep fine. Now my back be hurting, but I sleep fine. But they do not sleep good in hotel beds for whatever reason. So we come up to the office because they don't want to go home yet. But to God be the glory, I got the Sprinter van, which some of my videos, if you watch my videos, often you've seen me in the Sprinter van, which it has like outlets and stuff. And so we actually today was able to plug in the espresso or whatever you call it, an espresso machine in there and make iced coffee. My wife made some coffee in there in the Sprinter. And so we've been in there because we could go sit somewhere in a parking lot with phone service and have power. And it hold power pretty well. So that's been a blessing. And we lost some pool screens, but we didn't have any flooding. The pool was over flooded, but the water went away some kind of way. I'm guessing it got some little things in the ground or something. But the the water went away and had a tree knocked down, but it just kind of fell over the wall and didn't hit anything, didn't hit the house or anything. But it's a lot of damage that you could see online in different areas, places that's closer to the water, closer to the coast. So it was pretty scary. There's a lot of wind and things like that. Probably one of the worst that I've kind of been in. But and just it is the worst because haven't ever had no power this long. So and then you go home and you got no power, and so the fridge, all the food going bad, all the food bad now. And but it's like it's a lot of people with the last storm, Helene, and then this one, Milton. A lot of people lost their lives. A lot of people lost their whole home, and we know people who got to redo their whole home. And then as soon as they getting ready to start redoing their whole home, they now another storm comes. And I was thinking about trying to have somebody get in touch with Juanita Bynum and Keon Henderson to do us a fundraiser and help some of these families out. But l- Lord, you didn't let my spirit do that. 'Cause I was about to get me some of these ministering fundraisers out here, how they be raising them funds. Cause if we get that 2,100 from 2,100 people in 21 days, like Keon was trying to get, we might be able to help somebody out here. And then some of y'all told me to start one, but to be honest with you, it's like when you're an honest person, you actually turned away from doing things that scammers do. Because me personally, I really don't trust nobody to GoFundMe. Even if they raising it for their friend who have lost a family member, I just be expecting people to skim something off the top. And so I just can't really, it's hard for me to do it. I thought about it when y'all told me today, and I mentioned I delete the message because I can't do that just because, like the good book say, don't let your good be evil spoken of. And it's just so many scammers to where you can't even if you got a good heart, you can't start no GoFundMe because people gonna think you scamming. So I say, you know what? We're gonna have to lean on FEMA this time. We're gonna have to lean on FEMA and let them do what they do. But they say FEMA is out of money and all of that. And some of y'all we in a recession. I know some people think that some people who are really religious think that you could speak a recession on us, but we really don't have that kind of power in our tongue. Because if that was the case, we'll all be we'll all be wealthy. So God got the ultimate say so. But it's two ways I found out we're in a recession, and one of the ways is uh Keon Henderson telling the people don't give to the poor. A lot of y'all have sent me that video. And then another way is we had a trip that we had to do for my son college. So we were gonna go look at a school, and we had some stuff to do in Los Angeles. And I had booked the Airbnb because I'm like, well, we're gonna be fine where we at. We inland, we're not really gonna be affected by the storm too much. And the day that it's supposed to hit, we'll fly out almost 2 days after that. So I'm thinking we're gonna be able to hop on the plane and go on out there, do what we got to do. And I write the Airbnb and I say, hey, oh, okay. Some FEMA just paid famous girl K. Now what I need now, what can I write FEMA about? Get over here, email. People, hey, sip a little something. And I write the Airbnb about, I said, hey, we just got hit by Hurricane Milton, which that's a Jamaican, and I think Helene a Jamaican name too. And now they talking about Nadine. I know a Haitian girl with that name. Now they talking about Nadine coming. I say, boy, they doing us wrong with the Black Islanders. I'm like, what happened to, Debbie and Nancy? Why it got to be the Black name doing the most damage? And so I write the Airbnb. I say, listen, we're not gonna be able to make it. Milton just came through and knocked out our power. So we can't even really. I'm walking around stumping my toe, trying to get my shower so I could think about catching the plane. And I doubt any plane's finna be flying out of here because all the power lines down, everything down, everything flooded. Airbnb tell me sorry about your luck. Basically, they say sorry about your luck. Say, hey, our policy, our policy. I say, but this a national, I mean, it's a everybody know about this. People write me from England about the hurricane. I say, what in the world? Why is England? Why is the UK covering a hurricane in Florida? I say, my goodness. I never had that many people in the UK write me about nothing. So the people tell me, you know, we keeping this here money. So they were gonna keep about $1,200. 1,100. Yeah, about 1,100, $1,200 they were gonna keep, even though it's a disaster. So I write Airbnb. Airbnb say, well, we're gonna reach out to them and we'll see if the hosts approve it, then you know, we will refund you. He called me back, say the host didn't approve it. I said, wow. I said, I'm gonna have to get Keon Henderson on this, man. So he said the host didn't approve it. So then the host was being professional at first. Then the host went to getting smart. Oh, you been knew the hurricane was coming. Oh, it's been over a week. It's been on the news. And I'm like, yeah, it wasn't supposed to hit us. Like, we Floridians, like we sleep with hurricanes. Like we got a hurricane coming all the time. Like we have our hurricane season is so long, like we used to this. And so if you see the kids out there playing in the water getting ringworms. I ride through the neighborhood, it's a million trees all on the ground. I look out there, the white boys out there kneeboarding or whatever you call it, getting all kind of ringworms. It's like this Florida. And so I'll say, yeah, I thought we was gonna be able to fly out come Friday or Saturday morning, but the airport is closed. And I didn't expect us to get hit because we inland, so we rarely get the effects of a hurricane. And now he basically sorry about your luck. Guess what? I put that thing on the Blessed Tribe, and I said, Blessed Tribe, send a message to this man. The Blessed Tribe wrote him. Boy, he went again hostile. He went again hostile. He got upset. But they refunded that money though. They refunded that money. The whole 1,900 got refunded. And that was for 2 nights too. I'm like, nah, for one, y'all getting over $1,900 for 2 nights. But they refunded the money. I don't know if it was Airbnb just went ahead and did it, or if he hadn't reversed it with them, or they reached out to him again. But it was on the second call. The first time, it was a young man on the call. He sounded, you know, I don't know where he was from. But that second time, the young man sounded like he was overseas, sounded like he was in India, the call center in India. And you know, they smart now. They don't play with you. Hold on, Mr. Guskin. Let me take a look at that. I said, all right. But it came back. He said, Mr. Gaskin, your money coming back to you. I said, look at that. Lord, I thank you. So I just want to say thank you to the Blessed Tribe for that, for helping me with that. Cause I was gonna put it on the whole community page. I said, no, I'm gonna start with the Blessed Tribe because I don't want my haters in my business. And the Blessed Tribe got that thing handled for me. You hear me? That man felt the wrath the night he was over there sweating. I mean, he would answer the messages so fast, but wanting to come on here. And so that's one sign we're in a recession. Because think about it now. Think about this. If you're an Airbnb host and you got somebody who you could see that they live in Florida and they getting ready to come to your Airbnb, and then they tell you they can no longer come because the storm move hit them harder than what they was expecting, not going to be able to fly out, you're going to refund the money because you watching the disaster on TV, just having a heart and not wanting to reap what you saw, and you're going to refund the money. So for the man not to refund the money, that let me know we in a recession. Because he like, hey, I don't care about your disaster. I don't care about what you got going on. You ain't getting it. And then the whole area, I mean, we rolled for miles one way, all the power out. The streets we doing like in the countries where they don't have traffic lights, where you got to trust each other. You would just pull up and everybody guessing who finna go. And people that took their driving test 30 years ago, so don't nobody remember the rules of a four-way stop. So all four of us about to go at the same time. People having wrecks because we ain't got no power lights, ain't no what you call it, traffic lights, power lines down. I almost ran into a tree because the whole tree done fell over into the road on top of the power line. Big old oak tree come out the ground. I almost ran right into the tree because it was dark, couldn't see nothing because no street lights. So we up to the office right now because ain't no power at the house. And then I'm scared to look at the hotel prices. People like, I hope you get to a hotel. All the hotels full because of the people who was in the evacuation zone. They had to get into the hotels around here. So the rest of us who not in the evacuation zone, we had to let the people in the 2 evacuation zones and the mobile homes get into the hotels. So the hotels full. Then the hotels they taxing. I'm about to look at it now, cause see me, I really ain't built for this kind for no struggle now. I'm like, Lord, oh Lord, Lord, listen, I couldn't have been Job. Well, Lord, I'm finna go check on out of here, Lord, cause this right here, little power got me questioning everything. I'm like, Lord, is this power gonna come back on? Cause I know you might got something you want me to see in the dark. Cause when I tell you the spirit of Juanita Bynum and Keon Henderson that came upon me today, I got so ready to do me a fundraiser. I said, Lord, Lord, give me the strength to get through this thing without doing me a fundraiser. And so that's one sign. Airbnb didn't want to give me a refund in a disaster. Didn't want to give me a refund. Then the other sign I seen that time's getting ready to get real. For one, we get hit back to back with hurricanes in Florida. Both of them do extreme damage. That right there feel like a sign of the times. And then y'all send me the video. So many people that sent me the video of the pastor saying that you don't get a blessing when you bless the poor. Now I'm like, if that ain't the most antichrist message, saying you don't get a blessing when you bless the poor, that lets you know the church in a recession. Cause he telling you don't give no money to nobody but this here church. Y'all giving money, y'all helping the poor and the homeless. You ain't getting no blessing for that. You get a pat on the back for that, but you don't get no blessing for that. I say, yeah, boy, time's getting bad, boy. And so you got to think about it when you really process that. If a church make money off of donations, like they don't have a lot of products to sell. They got them books in the bookstore. They got some of them have a little coffee, but the mortgages on them churches be crazy. So that lets you know it's time that you figure out something, some type of business, some type of something. Maybe even just start your nonprofit. Like just take what you got and start you a nonprofit where you actually literally gonna be helping. Because whoever get in the office, they finna let them grants fly. You hear me? They finna print all kind of money. So if you have you a 501c3, you get you a grant. And out of that, you could serve the community, but with them nonprofits, you also get to have a salary. So if you get you a grant for 100,000 as an executive director, you could pay yourself 40,000. No questions asked. Your board vote on it, and that's 100% right there legal because you allowed to have a salary out of the funds that you raise. So we getting ready to go through this recession, or start your t-shirt line or something, selling something the people in your community need. Because when the pastor telling Christians not to give money to the poor, but to give, because there's no return for it, but give money to the church where you get a return. And that's a lie, because everybody sitting in the church still broke and struggling. So that ain't how that work. It's like God ain't no slot machine at the casino. And so it's like, man, and then with the Airbnb running off on the plug, I say, man, boy, we down bad out here. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, Lord, what we got going on? So listen, it's time to get right. Cause I sat there when this storm was coming and they kept saying, hey, it's coming right for Tampa. I said, Lord, well, I'm finna see what's gonna happen. I say, Daddy used to always tell me, he said, sometimes the Lord bless you right before you need it. And you're taking spending on something else and then realize it was for this over here. I'm like, Lord, please don't tell me you done tried to send me a blessing so that I'm gonna have the funds to rebuild my house after this hurricane. But he spared us. We had no damage but pool screens, which some of them was already out, and no damage to the cars that was in the driveway. The tree that fell didn't hit one of the cars. So it's been a blessing. We made it through there. And then, I'm big on consistency. So being that my family that wasn't ready to go home because we ain't got no power and we have no phone service. So it's one thing if you don't have power, but you got phone service. Cause at least you can watch your YouTube video or play your game on your phone. But we was playing Sorry and Scrabble and Uno. I got so Sorry, Scrabble, Uno'd out. I said, Lord, if I got to play one more game of Sorry or Uno, boy. And my little son, my 10-year-old, they love that kind of stuff. He want to keep on playing, 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 playing. I'm getting up, stubbing my toe, walking in the dark. He rushed me back to the game. He want to play my turn while I got to go use the restroom. He want to play so bad. And then on top of us being out of power, my 17-year-old greedy, he been greedy his whole life. He go and want to bite one of my cookies. My cookie got a cashew in there. He allergic to nuts. So he bite that cashew, throat go to closing up, lips swell, face swell, can't hardly breathe, throwing up. The hospital up the street is closed. We can't drive because we're in a tornado and a hurricane. I said, oh Lord, because a peanut allergy, it's a young man who had a peanut allergy at college, and his girlfriend had to ate a cookie with some peanuts in it, and they was kissing, and the young man throat closed up on him and he died. So last night I literally felt like I was gonna lose my son. I'm like, Lord, the hospital ain't got no power, and we can't even get to the hospital if we needed to go to the hospital. But shout out to Benadryl and the Holy Spirit, because that Benadryl got them together. It does not look like he was going to bounce back from it. And my son has scared me his whole life with his allergies and just what he done had to overcome. God bless him. And that's why we was flying out this weekend dealing with business for him. And that child is blessed. He blessed. I know the Lord going to have his hand on his life and do something special with him. Because, boy, he done sure had a story to tell. But the Lord spared him. It scared me. I had to keep on getting up, checking on him, just make sure he was breathing and everything. Because, your throat could close up, and we ain't have no EpiPen. We ain't got the EpiPen because he kind of done grew out of all his allergies except for his peanut allergy. And he bit my macadamia nut cookie, and it had a cashew in there. And he didn't read the thing because he just thought it was macadamia nut. Boy. So that was scary on top of that. So we sitting there, I'm thinking I'm finna lose my son. I'm thinking I'm finna lose my house. Then my wife hairstylist, one of our hairstylists, power line fell on their house and burnt down their whole house. Now, right in the same city we in, burnt down their whole house. And that's how real this stuff is when you see something like that. When it's like, man, that could have been anybody. All these power lines could have been anybody. And so it's very sobering, and riding around the streets flooded. so many trees ripped out the ground. It's just sobering out. And I just could not imagine being in Katrina. I know it's some of y'all that was in Katrina, and I could not imagine being in Katrina, because this right here, even though it was category 3 when it hit, and where it hit at, I don't know if it still did to the extent that Katrina did, even though they said that was category 1, but it must also deal with the infrastructure and stuff like that of the city. And so we made it through. We did, but it's a lot of people lost their houses, and then a lot of people lost their houses from the tornadoes. Wasn't even the hurricane that hit them. They got caught up in the tornadoes and lost their houses. And I seen somebody talking about Florida need to repent, and it really ain't got nothing to do with that, because I mean every state got sin in it. And I say, man, imagine that right there. Somebody see that, oh, you need to repent. And it's a natural disaster that happened every single year since the beginning of time in the state of Florida. But it sure felt like that though. I'm like, Lord, because I was sitting around there, man, y'all need to get all this sin out y'all life. Another hurricane in 2 weeks? But y'all got too much going on. I say, but it must be Ron DeSantis' butt. And so we went through it. We sure went through it. But I told my wife, let me know when they're ready to go home. So they probably don't want to go home until they're ready to go to sleep. And because we gotta this Airbnb, y'all forgive me, they was just writing me and let me know that they helped out because of Milton. They gave them a full refund because I'm not able to travel. Shout out to Airbnb. Y'all book you some with Airbnb when you get a chance. They sure took Kevin on that right there. Oh, raggedy host. I told him, I say, now listen, if your business go to struggling, now, remember how you treated people. I ain't wishing bad on you now. Like the prophetess, I ain't gonna wish bad on you. Like the prophetess now. If I was one of them prophetess, if I was one of these prophetess that y'all be worshiping, I'd have been in that DM. Hellfire and damnation and brimstone is finna come upon your Airbnb business tonight. I'm gonna give you 3 hours to repent. But I say I ain't gonna wish bad on you. But if you go to struggling, remember how you treated people in the disaster. And he still ain't repented. I'm about to call one of y'all prophets to get on him because he ain't repented. He talking about the hurricane been on the news for a week. This is Florida. I'm thinking I'm finna be able to fly out of here. And so he just, California, he don't understand because they have earthquakes out there. And it's like, okay, Californians don't change their plans because of an earthquake or wildfire. It's like, it's coming, but you still have to do what you got to do. I'm thinking I'm going out here to this college for my son. The man could be like, okay, if somebody coming to my Airbnb from California and they have an earthquake, and I can look on the news and see they had a category 5 earthquake or 3, and they say, well, hey, I can't come now because my whole house got messed up. I'm gonna be like, all right, cool. Here go your money. Here go your deposit back. I get it. I'm watching it on the news. God bless you. Hope you get things together. But here go this man. I say, man, that let you. But you know what though? That let me know that they have put a lot of money into that Airbnb stuff. And now, because of where people pockets are, people not booking on Airbnbs like normal, like they used to. A lot of y'all don't even like Airbnbs because you like the hotels. I like the Airbnb. I like that space. And I just figure it's easier to clean one house than it is to clean 900 hotel rooms. Cause I be going to nice hotels and still be having a woman hair under the sheet, woman hair be on the shower drain. Got to get moved to another room. Then you go to the other room. It smell like cigarette smoke. Then you go to the other room and Pookie and Ray smoking weed across the hall. It's coming under the door. So I be liking Airbnbs. I just get me a 5-star Airbnb. But that let me know we finna go through, because when the man keeping the money in disaster, you got to get your life together. You got to get your life. He's still writing me. He's still going off in the message. The hurricane was announced a week ago. He's still going off. I told him Airbnb took care of it. God bless you. I hope your business don't fail in the recession. But if it go to failing, remember how you treated people during hurricane disaster who couldn't make it out there. He's still going. But thank you to the Blessed Tribe for talking to him for me and getting them together. Sometimes people, you just got to let people know. You never know who you dealing with. You never know. Treat everybody equal, because you could be treating somebody a certain way and don't even realize that these people got, this person you dealing with got the support or the favor of the Lord that's with them. And so just, it was a few people sent them a message. And just that right there, I think it started to sway them, started to get to them. And Airbnb could see all of that. They could see all of that. And so they took and helped me out. Yeah, these hotels. And I'm gonna tell you, the thing about it is, what let me know we kind of starting to struggle a little bit more too. At the hotel, the workers don't even be cleaning the room. They be going in there and waving that Juanita Bynum pillowcase and walk right on out of there. They go right in there, 1333 tied, and walk right on out of there. And be like, man, do y'all clean the shower floor? Why is this woman hair in the drain if y'all clean the shower floor? And so this is the thing. I want you to think about this here and really start to prepare. And before you go eat out, other than Keon Henderson, Mike Todd, and all them twisting your arm for them tithes and offering. Because somebody sent me that sermon from Keon, and he was talking about, y'all online. Do y'all hear me? Because he said he got 20,000 members online. I'm like, them not your members. Them people who want that watered down word, them not your members. They ain't coming to your church. Them ain't your members. And they ain't walking in that building. They ain't no member. And so other than that right there, you have to start thinking before you go out to eat, just coming up with a budget, because the thing about it is we don't know which way things gonna go with the economy, because they printed so much money. And y'all remember how we was living in that pandemic with all that money. I went into the store to buy my wife a gift, and I seen a boy in there buying a $25,000 Cartier fake watch for $25,000. Got hit across the head, and every guy in there was spending $25,000, $250,000 with the EIDL and that PPP scam loan. So now it was so much PPP money. All them boys in Atlanta that's on Instagram with all these houses and all of that, they had them LLCs, they got them PPPs. And so now the government, and everybody do it, but I don't pay attention to every race. I pay attention to my race. And I know the black race at least touched 2 billion. When drops was in, the tax drops, y'all know about the tax drops where they get all the dead people Social Security. You go to file your tax, they done file your taxes for you. You sitting out there H&R Block filing your taxes, and they like, Mr. Gass, your taxes have been filed, and you got a refund for $9,999. I say, well, why is it $9,999? Well, they stay under 10,000, because they hit 10,000. It's a red flag. say, so these people to file my tax. Why to file my tax? It ain't happened to me. It happened to mother-in-law. Because they try to file my, you get nothing back. I already look at you with a side eye. So now, because of that, the US, they finna come get that money back. And so how they getting it back is with this inflation. And so you have to create you a plan, and you're gonna have to sit down and stare at the ceiling for about 30 minutes and talk to the Lord. And you're gonna see the vision illuminated in your mind, and you're gonna be able to create you a little business for a little bit of money. I call it the Tyler Perry model, because Tyler Perry will give us a movie that costs two Happy Meals and a red Fanta, and then we'll make him 35 million on opening weekend. And he gonna give us the same plot every time. And the black woman gonna get dropped on her head, kicked out the house. The neighbor finna holler at her, sleep with her, give her another baby. Then they going to church and getting saved. And we finna give Tyler Perry 35 million every weekend. So I call the business, the way I do business is inspired by Tyler Perry. I call it the Tyler Perry model. The way you spend your little something, make your little investment, but then it's something that people want and need. So you're gonna have to sit down before this recession really kick off, because it hit me today. It hit me today. I say, okay, things finna get ugly because we getting hit by these hurricanes. So people are just fix their house, new floors and everything from Helene. Some people got that kind of money. So they fixed their floors already, floors, cabinets, everything, and then boom, the next week it come and run it back. I mean, we just finished fundraising for people who lost their house, and before they get the blink, get hit again. So I say, you know what? It's about to get real. So on Small Business Saturday, I'm gonna be airing the interviews of some of my students from Tony Gaston's Academy. You'll see their business things that they doing, and hopefully it inspire you to create you something that can kind of help you just be something on the side. Because a lot of times people think about a following, and people think about, well, who am I? I don't have this big following online. And, I don't have a church where I could stand up in the pulpit and beg for money every Sunday and be twisting people's arms and telling people, if you want to walk out this door and be blessed tomorrow, you need to empty your bank account and hitting this tithes and offering. I don't have that. So how am I going to get through if somebody laid me off? I've been coaching a lot of clients who they living out their savings and they got laid off. And some people getting laid off after 10 years, 15 years in the industry, and then can't find work. And it's a lot of big companies that's laying off too, not just small companies. So it's something that you got to start thinking about, because and you want to be honest about it, because yeah, you could go start your church and be up there begging like these pastors, or you could become one of these begging prophetess online that keep begging for a seed. And yeah, you could do it the wrong way, but all that gonna get caught up to. And the thing about it is, it's a lot of people getting their arm twist for donations. But if you ain't got no arm to twist, then that's what's happening. Now we ain't got no arm to twist, so people trying to twist a nub. So they trying to twist a nub. And wow. So they writing us talking about they assembling a crew to restore our power. How you assembling a crew at midnight? And we done been out of power for a day and a half. Telling that assembling crew lie. And then texting this time of night. And so you got to do something honest. And a lot of times people think about an audience and they think about having this big following. They're like, oh, well, I can't create nothing because I don't have a big following. But you have to think about who live in your apartment complex, who live in your neighborhood, and just create something that people will need, because people always spend on what they need. And so getting ready that where the economy is going, and how the real estate is doing. And I learned today from Airbnb how bad Airbnb is doing. Because normally Airbnb, the first time you write them, they'll refund you if it's a disaster. And that's what everybody kept telling me, Tony, it's a major disaster. They'll refund you. No, Airbnb said, no, we trying to keep our coins. I had to call back a second time for them to go ahead and do it. So sit down and think about that and make sure you tune in on Small Business Saturday, because I'm going to have the interviews going up, but I'm also going to be teaching little lessons, just giving you different little ideas just so you could, kind of run through some things in your mind. And because I'm always creating something, just because you never know what's going to take off and what's going to be that thing. And I'm about to start me a class for pastors to teach them how to build business so they could stop doing all that begging and stop doing all that lying about you can't get no blessing from blessing the poor. Because that's why I give my money to. I don't give 10% to the church. I give 10% to the needy. I go and meet the need, because I'm like, I'm not going to church every Sunday, because half Sundays I'm out of town with my family at a soccer game. So I'm not going to be giving all my money to the church when they have to use so much of it for overhead. So if I give $10, 8 of it going to overhead, 2 of it going to the streets, I just get a whole 10 to the streets. And then let the people who are sitting in the building partaking of the AC and the lights and the children's church and all that, let them give whatever their heart desires. But I've been going and being a blessing to those in need and being able to actually see it make a difference. And God has blessed me above and beyond. Like when you doing something and you walking with the Holy Spirit, you'll have a peace in your spirit. So what the Lord said to me is, you are the church. Like, you are a minister. So you don't have to give to a minister when you can go and meet the need yourself. Like, you don't, it's nowhere that you have to put in the Bible that you got to put your offering, your first fruits in somebody else's hand for them to choose how it's delegated, especially when you can look and see how they delegating it, or a good portion of it. Whereas if you take and you look at your 10%, if you make 50,000 a year, your 10% is 5,000. If you take and go to the library, I told y'all this here example, I'm gonna share it again. But if you go to Hungry Howie's, you get 2 pizzas for $12. It's 52 weeks in a year. Times 52, that's $624. So that's $624 in a whole year. Them 2 pizzas could feed 5, 10 kids at the library. And so just out of and then if you take 5,000 divided by 600, then that's 8.3. So instead of 2 pizzas, that means you can afford by what that is. 6 times 16, 96 times 52. You can afford 16 pizzas from Hungry Howard's a week. How many kids can you feed off 16 pizzas? Especially if you give them 1 piece. Because if they mama is working 3 jobs and they going home to no food anyways, that 1 piece of pizza mean a lot. Now imagine if you getting 16 pizzas from Hungry Howard's every week. Then you meet the general manager at the Hungry Howard's. So now you know the general manager, so he gonna give you a discount. So now your 16 pizzas is 32 pizzas. And so now 32 pizzas a week, you feeding so many kids from your neighborhood who going home and starving all night. They have no food to eat. The library giving you the room for free. And when they come in there, having a discussion on how to properly bathe, how to get dressed, how to hold your fork right, how to set up a table, how to do a checking account. And they coming because they done heard Miss Brenda do free pizza every Wednesday. So they coming, and now you teaching these kids financial literacy. Now you are the church. But think about how many churches do you know that the kids can go to the church every week, and they could go not only learn about Jesus Christ, but they can learn about how to open a bank account. They can learn about stocks and bonds. They can learn about just everyday life. And that's what you could be doing. You have to, we coming into a day to where it's more people in the church, in the pulpit working for Satan than it is working for God. Because that's the adversary goal. So now you have to become the church. You might be the only Bible somebody read. Most of the people that you touch their life might be illiterate, can't even read and comprehend. Like, you sit down and you read the Bible and you see how hard it is to read and comprehend. Like, it ain't the easiest thing in the world. I mean, so much so that we got people who have full channels dedicated to breaking down the word of the Lord. And then we have so many teachers that intentionally take the word of the Lord out of context. So it's so much mystery to it that you may be the only Bible somebody read. And just off $50,000 a year, your tithes is $5,000 a year. You could feed so many people. And then not only that, once people see you taking your 10% and you feeding hungry children, but you teaching them about life, you're gonna have friends and family start matching you. They're gonna start matching you because, and some of them gonna do it out of purity, and some of them gonna do it out of jealousy. Some of them gonna get jealous of your light, and they're gonna say, "Oh, you buy 16 pizzas a week, I'm gonna buy 18, and you in room A at the library, I'm finna get room B because I've been wanting to do this. I've been wanting to do this, and so now that you doing it, I'm gonna do it too. But guess what? You done created. You, you are the pebble in the pond. You done created a ripple effect. Next thing you know, y'all feeding the whole city because the good, bad, and the ugly is taking their 10%, and instead of getting their arm twisted, and some of the stuff I've been seeing, man, I seen a guy, I think his name something Taylor. He a light skinned round brother. He round, and he was in a deposition for misappropriating funds. And he bad built, but was buying Louis Vuitton and Gucci shirts and stuff. I said, no, nah. You can't be built like that buying designer as a man, nah. You ain't gonna better do it. And this man have a ministry. And I'm watching the video, and this man have a ministry. It's something Taylor. David Taylor, I think it is. And this man, he's sitting up there and he worse than Peter Popoff and them. He said, some of y'all got money put up. Some of y'all got 401ks and pensions that you could be giving to this here ministry, but you sitting on it. You holding out. You holding a savings and a retirement fund away from the Lord. You could be cashing out that 401k and giving to this here ministry. And the man say, and he got people giving to him. And I seen the man he have a church, or I don't know if it's his church or he preaching in somebody's church, but it was full of people. I want to lick asphalt when I seen that. I say, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I just could not believe it. Look the man up. The man named David Taylor. See, I think that's his name. I could be sending y'all somebody else page. They like, what the world you over here talking about? He's a heavy set, light skinned man. And it looked like he got a Jerry curl or S curl or something. And he be lying. He talking about he went and seen the Lord. Talking about he went to heaven and sat next to the Lord. But he being literal. I said, what? I said, let this man out the group home. This man, and when I say group home, I don't mean like the real thing, like where people who need to be there just because they don't have their family or what have you. But I mean, he's supposed to be in somebody 24-hour supervision, and he is roaming the streets, and he running a ministry, and he raking in millions. I say this is bad. This is bad. So it's like when you mess around, y'all forgive me. My office out here in the wood look like I got my little gnat and got in here. So when you mess around and you let somebody who see my wife text me, y'all forgive me. My wife text me. She let me know we could head to the house whenever we're ready. T, you ready to go? You ready to go? Huh? I've been done. I'm waiting on y'all. I told your mama to text when y'all ready to go. You ready? You getting ready for bed? Cause you know when we get there now, ain't gonna be no phone. You downloaded what you need to download? Okay. So what I'm about to say real quick is when you see people like that raking in millions of dollars, it makes the other pastors like, here go this guy, he bad built, bad hair, bad. He's seen like the cousin of the man. He looked like and sound like he could be closely related to the man who got in the pulpit at one of the Atlanta churches talking about he been delivered. He was like, I've been delivered. I don't like man's no more. Delivered, delivered. I like woman's. Woman. The guy, David Taylor, look and sound like that, a bigger version, heavier set version. So when you got a slim fit guy like a Keon Henderson who got a celebrity wife, he look at that and be like, well, if this man could make millions, talking about he done went and sat next to the God, what the world I could be bringing in? Because think about it now. A lot of us on here are of color. If we go, we don't mind free. So we will go and sit in that good AC at the church to get us a word, whether we finna watch how bad it's finna be or sitting there for how good it's finna be. But if we don't have no money, we don't mind free. So it's so many people going to church and they getting them cookies, the drink, they getting whatever the church got, that good AC, that child care, and they walking right out of there and they putting $1 in the plate, looking right up at the cash app, at the PayPal, and Lord know my heart. I got to go. Lord know my heart. Pastor, it was a good word today. Ooh, got to go. And so guess what? Church going into a recession because ain't no Holy Spirit in most of them. And so then they see this here man, David Taylor, and he touching millions, and he on the deposition talking about these $6,000 shirts that he buying. So now the slim and fit pastor's like, hold on, I need to run a bag up. Cause here go this man, Humpty Dumpty, fell off the wall, and he touching me and be doing virtual sermons with AI 3D behind him on the wall. He got to do a virtual sermon now. And so that's what's happening. So everybody is being, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the number one person in the country, is the black woman. I don't know how that sound, but what I mean is the government, like the economy, wants the black female dollar. The economy, the pastor, the every single commercial, all of the companies, watch what you're gonna see. Almost when you sit down, I want you to, even if you don't watch TV, sit down and watch TV. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you couldn't find a black woman in a commercial. Now, every commercial you watch got a black female lead, the black woman. They want, because black women are leading in most businesses started, and most degrees earned. Black women leading. And the reason why that has become a thing, because it's almost like black women have always had the mindset and the ability, but black men are being sucked into the red pill community. And so many black men are so against marriage that black women who are single are like, I'm not finna sit here and just twiddle my thumbs. I'm finna run a bag up. I'm gonna get this certification or this degree, this training. I'm finna buy a house. I'm getting a car. I'm finna get a raise. And they occupying and they grinding. And there's so many women that's grinding, black women that's grinding, whereas a lot of white women are married and they stay at home moms. It's more white women that's married, probably more Hispanic women. Like a lot of times you meet a Hispanic woman, they husband may be doing something and they may be at home. And so when it comes to single women, I would venture to believe, and statistics may back it up, that black women will lead in being single because of the attack on the black man from the adversary. So we got so many black men in the red pill, want to be rappers, want to be scammers, want to be all of this and that, to where it's not as many black men as we need seeking marriage. We got all the single fornicating podcasters. So all the men in their audience is like, why would I get married if my favorite podcaster is single? Why would I get married if my favorite ESPN host is single? Why would I get married if my favorite college football coach is single? So it's sending a message to where, if you notice, black men, what we like sports. We like sports, we like cars, we like all the different stuff. So if you look at the leading guy in the car world, he's single. The leading guy in the sports commentating world, they all single. Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, they single. The most popular football coach, sports coach, is Deion Sanders. He's single. So it sent a message to all the men: single must be the way. The biggest black podcast, the hosts are single. The men are single, at least one of them, or all of them. And so it sent a message: oh, single must be the way, because the men who got the money, they single. Even in the rap world, Rick Ross, no wife. Drake, no wife. 50 Cent, no wife. P. Diddy, God bless his soul, help him, but no wife. When he was respected and admired before people knew all of this stuff about him, single. So that's the thing. So it's sending this message to the generation, because men look up for examples, and the examples are single. And so then that's leaving the black woman to fend for herself, and she grinded. And so because she grinded and she running a bag up, and a lot of women don't have children or a husband. So what America sees, what the economy sees, what companies see, they see that a lot of their money are being made from black women. So now they catering to black women. And so you have to be mindful of that, and you got to protect your coins. And you got to see the attack, you got to see the scam, and you got to ask yourself, what am I getting out of this? Like, what do I get from this here deal? Is this a win-win, or are you just taking me for all my money? Is this an investment opportunity? Is this something that's going to do something for me? Like, am I learning something? Am I what am I getting from this? Or you just finessing me out my coins? And so it's so many black women that make six figures but still broke. Six figures with no husband, no kids, but still broke, getting finessed out in coins. And then so now what I'm noticing with my email is it's so many every single day, because also they coming after black men too, because we are known to be less financially literate. So if I go on my email right now, every day it's 20, 30 white and Hispanic and Asian men writing me, trying to sell me on a ridiculous price service that I could just use AI to do it for free. And all they using is AI. And sometimes I entertain it and have a phone call, and they be wanting a king's ransom. to do the most simple tasks, but it's because they look at us as dummies. They like, you have money. They come on here and they see me on live. So whenever I go live, after the live, I get all these emails. They say, hold on, what's this here background behind you? Them panels cost this amount. You know, you on this here live. You got this amount of people watching you. You got this amount of subscribers. I Googled you. It say your net worth is this. You done did this. You done did that. Let me say this service. I tell all of them no. Nope. 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 I don't need you. I done got this far without you. I'm not finna pay you 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, all this money. A guy just wrote me. He want to invest in me and do a business with me. Talking about make me a $10 million business and all of this. And he talking about he done work with Les Brown, but that's how they got Les Brown. They got Les Brown in his old age. He started partnering with all these young white guys. And they talking about, oh, you leaving money on the table. We finna run a bag up. But they started running the man's name in the dirt. They started doing fake seminars in his name, scamming people at seminars in his name. And so now they coming to the younger, those of us that's younger. And so you have to be mindful that right now, because we about to go into this recession, or we in a recession already, but it's going to get worse. You have to be very diligent. Every email you get, you gotta really vet it 3, 4, 5 ways. I get annoyed sometimes when people write in and they be like, is this really Tony Gaskins? Is this email really from Tony Gaskins? And we have to respond back. If it say at TonyGaskins.com, that coming from our domain, is me. But I respect it at the same time because it's better to be safe than sorry. Because a guy just wrote me the other day. He was like, hey, Tony, I want to talk to you about this investment. He going back and forth in the DM with somebody named Tony Gaskins Jr., but it's a fake Facebook page. Fake Facebook page. And this is a man now. This a man. Now he have not been in America his whole life. And so sometimes it'd be like a learning curve to the type of, business scams and stuff that get done over here. And this a man. So I'm like, I thought we supposed to be used to scammers and stuff like that. But I bet it's probably a lot of women who have donated to a WhatsApp or to a Facebook from the name of somebody they follow online. And these people create fake pages. And then they say, write me on WhatsApp or write me on Facebook Messenger. Oh yeah, donate to this charity, donate to this. And people don't know how to click and verify to see if the page is really that influencer or celebrity or author or speaker. And so people being taken advantage of. And then there's so many people coming to me because my services are so cheap. They'll come to me and have spent 10 times what I charge and got nothing in return. They got scammed. Somebody then told them they'll do something for this amount of money. I'm like, wow. Wow. Like if you follow me online and you trust me, you should have wrote in and asked, just send an email. Hey, somebody quoted me this price. Is this legitimate? Versus going and spending it and then coming to me and now want me. I already do it for dirt cheap, but now want me to do it for free. But somebody else out on a yacht because of you. And so I want to send that message out because there's so many scams going on right now. Be very mindful, be very diligent. And I heard, what's the man named Warren Buffett? He says successful people say no to 99% of stuff. And I didn't know that he thought that, or even if that's his quote, but I realized I say no to 99.9% of proposals that's sent to me. I'm so shocked I even did the one with Gigastar, but I took a chance because it was also giving back. It wasn't just it was an investment opportunity, not a fundraiser. And so people will get to earn from my YouTube channel. So I took a chance and did it. Now I still ain't got the money yet. So they say next week they supposed to send my portion of so we gonna see. And I wait, and now I'm already, because that made some noise with Gigastar. I'm getting a bunch of emails, people trying to get in position and get in my pocket. But I'm like, man, listen, that money already go. That money already go, man. I got to pay the e-bill. Gotta pay these bills. People think I'm fit to be on somebody's yacht. Man, listen, gotta pay bills. Gotta pay bills. And so this the thing. Be mindful now. Be mindful because if you stress, it'll be the restaurants that take all your money. It'll be the clothing stores that take all your money. It'll be the hairstylists that take all your money. It'll just be vanity and vexational spirit, like the Bible say, that'll take all your money. So you have to be mindful, you got to be diligent. And when you spend, make sure it's to feed you, to clothe you, or to invest in you, or to give to somebody in need. And if you sowing or what have you, but make every single dollar count because we finna go into the times where every dollar that you did not count, you're gonna be forced to sit down and look back and say, man, I shouldn't have did this, because all of that was just vanity and vexational spirit. And now I'm sitting here, especially if layoffs and stuff like that start to happen. And so be mindful and just know that you being watched, that you people lurking and they looking, they waiting, and a thief don't come to an empty vault, like the saying say. So, and what I'm seeing right now, out of all the people, out of every race, nationality, color, and creed, the black woman is the most preyed on person on the face of the planet right now. And that's why when people they'll come on here and they'll get mad, oh, Tony, you a simp. Oh, you give away too much game. Oh, you're teaching too much. It's just because God gave me a heart for those who are being deceived. That's why I never called names my whole career. I never called names, but this year I've been calling names because the Lord say it's time out for it. Because you talking about the issue, you talking about the symptoms, but people need to know who you talking about. Because if you don't say a name, people gonna be sitting right up under that person and assume you ain't talking about them. And so it's time to draw a line in the sand. And so I've been having to draw a line in the sand because it's a lot of people deceiving and they're not giving anything. They're not giving and being a blessing in a real way. And what they asking for in return is far greater than what they have given, even if they have given a little something. They asking for they giving one and asking for 10. And that's just not how it's supposed to be when you serving people. You're supposed to give more than you get, give more than you ask for. And it's just that has been lost and people are greedy. And so what's happening is it's so many black women that are so liberal with their giving. I don't know if that's the right word, but what I mean, give freely. And they give so freely. So when the unemployment checks was coming in, when the stimulus checks was coming in, when people was getting bonus checks because the business was booming, what happened is the pastors, those who give us the word, they got super rich in the pandemic. And now when you hear them begging, it's because they got so much money in the pandemic from so many overabundance of donation because people had extra money. And they increased, they bought a new house, they bought more cars, they increased their bills. And now things have started to reset. So whereas a million or 10 million or 5 million in tithes would have come in. So imagine in 2021, if a church received 5.2 million in tithes, you're not just going to sit that money in a bank account. You're going to deploy that money. So it's going to be split up. So now it done went from 5 million in tithes that was given to like 3 million, 2 to 3 million. These churches are missing millions. But when the tithes came in at 5 million, 2020, 2021, 2022, these churches, they increased their budget to probably 4.8 million. But now tithes done went down to 300. So it's not that these pastors are just crooked and greedy. It's that they got real bills. And so it's forcing them to show their fangs. And that's why these pastors getting so aggressive and so manipulative in the pulpit, because they literally are staring down the barrel of real bills. And they like, man, listen, man, we done. So now they having to take advantage of catastrophe, hurricane, whatever, earthquake. Oh, we got to do a fundraise. They got to take advantage of the catastrophe because they increased them bills into the millions, increased that lifestyle into the millions. And then now done lost 20, 30, 40%. See, I run so many different businesses that I get to see when the economy change. So I get to see personally when a business that is not asking for free money, but providing a service or a product, I get to see if it go down 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%. So that let me know if a business that's actually providing something that people want and need is going down, what you think a business that live off of free donations is doing, because they're not providing like a product, like anything tangible. And then when they getting towed up online, it started to make people think twice. So now people already was thinking like, man, do I need to give all this? And now these pastors getting towed up online, and these prophets getting towed up online. So now people thinking twice, like, man, hold on now. Yeah, this ain't looking right now. This ain't sounding right. You don't look like you moving right either. You know what? I'm finna keep my money. So now, zoop, but that mortgage, them car notes, that jet note, all the family they taking care of, the friend, all the staff that they done hired and paying, all that. So this what I want you to understand. That's why things finna get crunk up. That's why things finna get crunk up. That's why if I do something, it's an investment. That's why I don't do donations. That's why I don't come here and ask for donations. If I do something, it's business. That way, can't nobody say, "Oh, you owe me." No, it's business. It's a business transaction. So, hey, I got to go. Got my family. I think they done, that sleep and caught up to them. So now we just go home, get on in that bed with this no power. But I like this here. Need that. Sometimes you got to unplug. Hey, God bless you. Kiara, we're gonna get back with you now. Got to go. Family waiting on me. We'll do a Q&A, Lord willing. If the power stay on up here to the office. Might be up here tomorrow. We might be up here camping out in here tomorrow. God bless you. We'll talk soon. Shout out to the moderators and all the blessed tribe. Members, thank y'all for the support. And everybody, and a couple y'all sent me a blessing. I did see a couple people sent me a blessing. Just unannounced, in Cash App. And God bless you. I see it right here. God bless you. I really appreciate that. I asked my wife, I said, baby, somebody sent a blessing now. She said, yeah. I sure appreciate that now. Cause we need to do this. We need to do that. I said, well, my good girl, you ain't gonna turn nothing down. You gonna tell me, no, baby, put that back to the business. Put that back. I said, you talk about it. You got a need for it. Oh, nah. But some of y'all sent my wife a cash out. It's like, man, God bless you. God bless you. Hey, we'll talk soon. Keep your head up. Keep going. And everybody that's affected by the storm, praying for you.